I got an email from one of my tribe members that indicated after watching my video on how to turn a side gig into a multi-million dollar business, asked me the question. I have a 10 to 14 hour a day job, and my wife is a nurse. How are we going to create a side gig? I gave it a lot of thought, and it came back to me, how do rich people become wealthy? And they basically become wealthy by leveraging their money. Another way of doing it is leveraging your credit. There are plenty of people who have good ideas and have a way of making something happen, but they don't have the money to do it. And that has been the growth of our economy in the past, is that through angel investors, individuals get a chance to improve themselves and make money, while the investor who puts up the money makes money as well, probably makes more than the individual that they finance. So how can I give that or make that happen to someone who has a 10 to 14 hour a day job and both spouses work? Well, the other thing that you have that you aren't aware of probably is good credit. If you have good credit, that means that you can go to the bank and you can get a line of credit. Maybe you have to put your residence up as security, and that's okay if the idea is good. So let's take this gentleman's predicament that he has a 10 to 14 hour a day job, and let me show you how we can turn it into a multi-million dollar investment or a multi-million dollar payoff. Let's call it a multi-million dollar payoff. So let's walk through it. Let's assume that he's a lawyer, okay, and she's a nurse, and he works 10 to 14 hours a day. So he goes to his bank and he says, and he lives in maybe a $500,000 home. And he says, and he's got good equity in it. Let's say he's got $400,000 equity in it. He says, I want to take out a line of credit for $400,000. Just have it available for me. Now, on the weekend, he and his wife go and look around their neighborhood, and they find some homes that were built back in the 60s and 70s that are owned by baby boomers who are now wanting to sell their house. But we recognize that the baby boomer still has wallpaper on the walls, still has the original kitchen cabinets and the original plumbing in the bathroom. Maybe even, they've probably changed the appliances out once, but there's still turquoise or some obnoxious color, maybe yellow, or maybe even black. So there's some updating that needs to be done on the house. And let's assume that they can buy this house for $300,000. They're not going to buy it. They are going to buy it. They're going to take that line of credit and they're going to buy that home for $300,000. Now, they have done enough research and they know that they're going to need to do $30,000 or 10% of what they put up for the house in improvements. They know, and you and I know, if you've done any kind of this work, that every wall in that house is going to need to be repainted, and a lot of the outside is going to need to be repainted. So we're going to need a painter. So we're going to go find a 28-year-old painter that has a beat-up truck, and he has a crew that he works with, and he's married, and he has 2 kids, and they have a boat, and they're up to their ears in debt. But he's a damn good painter, okay? So we're going to hire him to do all the painting in our house. And now we're going to ask him to act as the contractor to get all the appliances changed, to get the bathrooms remodeled, to get the hardwood floors refinished, to get the yard taken care of, maybe even to, before we buy it from the baby boomers, make sure that they maybe in their homeowner's insurance, they can qualify for that roof to be redone for a fraction of what it would cost because it has hail damage or it has some natural damage to it. In the South, that's how we do it. We do it with hail damage. But we'll check all that out. He'll check all that out. And we will pay him, in addition to for his work painting the house and all the kitchen cabinets and the bathroom cabinets, we're going to give him 15% of what the house sells for when we sell it. And our target price to sell the house that we bought for $300,000 and that we put $30,000 in, our target price to sell it is $390,000. It's going to take us probably 3 to 6 months to get this done. We're only paying interest on the $300,000, and then as we need to pay the contractors the additional $30,000 as we move through it, we'll take draws on our equity line of credit. So we aren't going to pay interest the whole time. Our interest rate's probably going to be somewhere around 4%. Okay? So when the whole thing's over, for the 6 months that we've borrowed, different time limits on different amounts, we're going to have a cost of $6,600 in this project. Okay? A $300,000 home, 30,000 improvements, and interest of $6,600. Okay, so we sell the house for $390,000. We pay back our loan of $330,000. We have a real estate commission there of $19,500, and we have the interest we paid of $6,600. So we have a profit of $33,900. We pay our contractor his 15%, our painter, and that's $5,085. So we net $28,815. Our spouse has been the real estate agent, so she collects $6,000 on the purchase of the house. That's 2%, because she's going to probably be qualified for 2.5%, but part of that's going to have to go to her broker. So she's going to get $6,000 there. She's going to pick up another 2% when she acts as the agent, as the selling the finished house. So there she makes another $7,800. So she makes $13,800 on this whole transaction. We now take the $42,000 total that we make between the $28,815 that you make as the financier and the $13,800 that your wife makes as the real estate agent, and we do this 2 times a year, okay? So collectively, we make $85,230, and we put that into a solo IRA. Solo IRA says that as the employer, that's your business that you've set up, can put money aside for its employees. The employees are you and your wife of your employer. And between you, you put $85,230 for 30 years in your solo IRA, and you earn 15% on it. And at 65 years of age, you have $42,611,328. So that's how you get a side gig that makes you a multimillionaire. What did you do to do it? You secured a loan, a line of credit. You found a painter who has bad credit. And this is important because once you do this 2 or 3 times, your painter, your contractor is going to realize, wow, I can do this. All I got to do is go get credit. No, you want him to buy a new truck. You want to keep his credit bad so that he needs you. If you see him not needing you, you need to go find another painter, because this is going to become so easy and you're going to become so good at it. And your wife, who is the real estate agent, is going to realize all she has to do is put a sign in the front yard when she lists the house, and she can pay somebody at her brokerage $200 to represent on each transaction to represent her at the closing of both the purchase and the sale. She doesn't have to. All she's got to do is put a sign in the front yard and get her real estate license. That's how you do the side gig. Now, maybe you say, Perry, that's fine, sounds fine, but I don't have any interest in flipping houses. Okay, maybe you have somebody that you know who is extremely talented and could create a YouTube channel, but they don't have the money to do it. They don't have the $1,500 they need for their video equipment. And maybe you could create that for them. There's all kinds of things that with your money, Ken Langone, do you know that name? Ken Langone was approached by two Jewish guys in Atlanta, Georgia, a number of years ago. And they said to Ken Langone, we want to open a hardware store. And Ken said, there's plenty of hardware stores in Atlanta. We don't need any more hardware stores. No, we want to take it to the next level. We want it to have everything that anybody needs. We wanted to make it beautiful. We want to make it the supermarket of hardware stores. But we need your money, Ken. Well, these two guys put a silly name on it called Home Depot. And Ken Langone was their financier. Last year, Ken Langone appeared at, I believe it was New York City University, and made an announcement to everyone who was in the medical school that you will no longer have to pay tuition. I'm going to pay it for you. That's how rich people become wealthy. They use their money to help somebody with a good idea to make that idea happen. Maybe you know somebody who wants to open a new hardware store or has a new internet idea that they need money to finance. They need rent. And you can come in and help them. That's how, if you've got a 10 to 14 hour job, you can create a side gig, put it into a qualified plan, and let it grow to, what did I say? $42,611,328. Just because you got good credit. Okay. That's the kind of video that I want to share with you. I'll keep talking about stocks, but if you want to be a part of this, if you want to grow with good financial ideas, come to bestofusinvestors.com. When you get there, sign up for my morning newsletter where I'll announce what my videos are, where I'll share my activity in the stock market and what I'm going to be doing that day and the week coming. or whatever, and where I'll share what I think is the most important news, and you'll become a part of our tribe. What does that mean? You'll be invited to come to our village. Our village is a Discord. It is where tribe members, where like kinds of people with interest in investing come together and share their ideas. This website, this YouTube channel, is not all about Carrie. It's all about a tribe called Best of Us Investors. Come join us. You'll find it's going to be the method that takes you from being okay to rich to wealthy.